Hey guys, it's Nathan. Today I wanted to talk about like email collection and doing like email automation and outreach. I've been building out like automation flows for a number of different clients. So I just wanted to like talk about how you can actually go about building your email list. Depending how you want to do it. Obviously, you could just depending on like the laws in your area and also in terms of who you're reaching out to, you can potentially like scrape information online or use like email harvesting tools in order to build a massive email list. Um, but you're going to like I have definitely played around with things like this in the past, and I still have a number of cold outreach automation sequences. Just you're going to get much lower conversion rates. There's no two ways about it. Someone who's opted in to receive emails from you compared to cold outreach, there's always going to be one winner. So I wanted to talk more today on like building an actual engaged audience but by collecting email addresses and then enrolling into like your preferred email automation tool, be it MailChimp, SendGrid, whatever you may be using. So to get started, I'm going to suggest that you use a tool, something like similar to this, whether you're using Notifier or like one of our competitors, like Sleek Note, Optin Monster, anything like that, whatever you prefer to use, as long as you have a system in place for collecting email addresses, ideally something that can support like behavior-based triggers, because that's going to make a really big difference. For example, if a user is going to abandon your website, if their mouse leaves the page and they go to change tabs or go to hit the close button or something, exit intent triggers are going to be really powerful for retaining these customers, these visitors. Sorry, you have to remember that only 2% of visitors who come to your website actually convert into customers. So that means 98% of people on average coming to your website, on the average website, actually abandon a website. 98% of people aren't taking action. So all of that effort that you're putting into Facebook ads, Google ads, marketing, search engine optimization, 98% of that is actually not going to it's not going to turn into like conversions and customers. So really you want to be, that's why like I like to focus so heavily on conversion rate optimization and trying to bump those numbers up so we get better return on investment through marketing. And part of conversion rate optimization is just every opportunity that you have to try and convert an anonymous visitor into either a lead or ideally a sale, you should be doing it. So for example, with like exit intent triggers, like I just said, when someone goes to abandon your website, we can then trigger an email collection pop-up. Perhaps they're not ready to sign up just yet. Um, you have to like these it's a real person that you're like dealing with on the end of the computer, like watching who's looking at your website. Perhaps they have something going on in real life, their wife's calling them, they've got kids like distracting them, they're getting a call from their girlfriend, whatever it may be. There are so many like distractions in real life, and perhaps they're just or they're just not ready to convert yet, they haven't been quite convinced yet. So in this scenario is such a beneficial tool to collect an email address, because we know that they're on your website for one reason or another. People don't just mindlessly click around the internet wasting time on websites. So one of the most powerful ways, if they're not ready to convert just yet, um, is just to collect an email address from this person. So in this example, like you could offer them like a 15%. You could offer them like a 15% discount code. So it's good to like offer some incentive for joining um, your email list. So like you can play around with this and see what works best for you in terms of what you're offering as an incentive. Like people often use lead magnets for giving away like ebooks or even like a free trial or just some incentive for someone to pass over their email address. And then once you have that email address, you now have like the ability to contact that person almost like forever. Obviously, there's going to come a point where you may want to give up on that lead if you don't manage to convert them. But now we can enroll them straight into an automation sequence so that your website visitor is going to enter their email here. and submit it, and we can then go and send over to something like MailChimp, to your email automation tool of choice. And it's completely up to you how you like go about it from there on. It also is going to depend a lot on your product, what it is you're actually selling, like the price point of the product. If you're offering a very expensive, like a course or something like that for $1,000, $2,000, if it's like a high ticket item, it may not be good to go in directly for a trying to close someone immediately by getting a sale from them. Perhaps you're going to need to do something like sending over one or two like warm-up emails with like educational content, teaching them like why you're an authority in your industry, and why they should buy your sort of product or service, but not actually trying to close them in those initial two emails. So you're just like warming them up and building up a bit of a relationship. If you have much like lower ticket items, for example, with Notify, something is $9 per month for 30 website widgets. We can go in with like a much more like direct approach. We also offer like a free trial, and often it's much easier, it's much smoother to onboard someone with a free trial rather than asking them to like pay up front. So obviously they have a chance to test the product and make sure that Notifier is the right solution for them. If you're doing like a services based industry, perhaps you don't even want to send over educational content. Maybe they already know what they are looking for. But you could send over an automated email sequence for booking in like a product demo, or like a an onboarding call, like or even like a sales call with a member of your sales team. You know, you could use something like Calendly for sending for sharing your calendar with people. It's a very simple, easy, and like integrated way to book calendar appointments. So yeah, like essentially from here, you would just go in and send over the data. You would input the URL that you want to send over your emails to. So we send over to MailChimp, to Zapier, Integromat, whatever it is you're doing. I have another video on building out your own email automation sequence via Gmail. So yeah, it's however you want to do it. And really, this is just a video saying that this is something that really you should be doing. Um, this was an example like for on your website itself. You could also do like a time delay. For example, if someone has been on the page for 90 seconds, maybe we can trigger a pop-up then. If you're on a blog post, a great way to trigger this would be if the user has scrolled like 80% down the page. We could then trigger the email collection tool, and it's going to and then because we know that they've read the majority of your content, they're 80% through your blog post, they're obviously engaged, because like I said, people don't tend to waste time on website pages. So we know that they're interested in what you're talking about, and then asking them to join your email list, perhaps saying that you send out new content every week, like similar to the article that they've just read. And it's just a very easy way to build up your email list. There's a very good book called Content Inc. I definitely recommend everyone goes and reads that. I actually wrote up a blog post a while ago, um, giving like extracts from the book and my like takeaways from it. Essentially, it's about a story of someone who a true story of a guy who made a blog and just built an email list. And because people had read his blog previously, they knew that he knew what he was talking about, and he was a bit of an authority in the industry. So when they joined his email list, it was very easy for him to go and sell products to them. Because they trusted what he was talking about, because they had opted in via his blog, they liked what he was talking about, and he went on to make something like $30 million when the book was published. I'm sure he's made a lot more money than that now, but these are just proving that blogs and like I would even look at this as like old-fashioned. Email marketing is not particularly like innovative, but often the old ways are the best, and you don't always need to like be using the most like innovative and cutting edge like artificial intelligence, optimization, personalization solutions. Just sometimes a good old fashioned like building an email list and writing out a good sequence with good copy, and selling to the user over the space of like a 6 month automation or something, is a really good way to bring in revenue. Once it is set up, it's going to run forever as well. So anyone new who joins your email list, you're going to be able to sell to them going forward without even thinking about it. So you could very easily also turn it into a passive income, depending on what you're selling. Even if you're doing like affiliate marketing, if, in fact, especially if you're doing affiliate marketing, this would be a massive it would be a massive priority for me if I was doing affiliate marketing. A client of mine who is an affiliate marketer, he has an email list of about 800,000 people that I've just built an automation for and we're reaching out to, and he's t turning over millions of dollars every year, in profit, not just turnover. So yeah, this that's just a quick reasons why you should still be building an email list. Don't look past the basics. If you need a tool for collecting email addresses, there are loads out there. Obviously, Notifier is my software platform. You can also look at things like OptinMonster, is has a few million websites using them. They're a very good tool to explore. As well as Sleeknote has very good designs, although it's quite a bit more expensive. But yeah, have a play around with it. Of course, if you need a free trial of Notifier as well, I'll put a link in the description. If you have any questions about building email lists or automations or like how to sync over from here, I'm also going to make a video on like writing email outreach copy. And yeah, thank you very much for watching. And yeah, I hope you'll start building your email list.